Imagine this. You leave a cookie on the counter, tell your dog not to eat it, and walk away. 5 minutes later, the cookie is gone. But here's the crazy part. Your dog looks innocent. No crumbs, no guilty expression, just those big, adorable eyes staring at you like, "Cookie? What cookie?" And now, you're questioning everything. But what if I told you this wasn't just luck? What if your dog outsmarted you on purpose? What if dogs, certain breeds in particular, were actually smarter than a 5-year-old child? Well, brace yourself because that's not just a theory. It's been proven by science. Some dogs can solve problems, manipulate situations, and even understand human emotions better than some adults. So today, we're diving into the world of doggy geniuses. Which breeds top the intelligence charts? What makes them so smart? And most importantly, is your dog secretly plotting against you? Let's start with a mind-blowing fact. Research shows that dogs, on average, have the intelligence of a 2 to 5-year-old human child. That means they can understand words, interpret emotions, solve puzzles, and even deceive people. Yes, you heard that right. Dogs lie. If you've ever seen a dog pretend they need to go outside only to run back in and steal your spot on the couch, congrats. You just got outplayed by a canine con artist. But which breeds are the true masterminds? Let's break it down. First up, we have the Border Collie, the undisputed Einstein of the dog world. If brains were a competition, the Border Collie would be valedictorian, class president, and the kid correcting the teacher. These dogs can learn a new command in under 5 repetitions, and some, like the famous Chaser, have been proven to recognize over 1,000 words. That's more than some kindergartners. Chaser didn't just know words. She could differentiate between objects, retrieve specific toys by name, and even understand full sentences. Imagine asking your dog to fetch your slippers, and they actually bring you the right ones. Border Collies don't just fetch. They analyze, strategize, and execute. But intelligence isn't always a blessing. Ever heard of a dog breaking out of their crate from the inside? That's what happens when you own a Belgian Malinois, a breed so smart and energetic they're used by elite military and police units. Malinois don't just follow commands, they predict them. You say sit, and before you even say stay, they're already doing it. That's great for canine officers, but for a regular owner? Let's just say if you don't give them a job, they'll find one, and that might include redecorating your house in shredded furniture. Then there's the Poodle, yes, the fancy, fluffy, rich people dog. But don't let the curly fur fool you. Poodles are masterminds. They were originally bred as retrievers, which means they're problem solvers by nature. A well-trained poodle can learn a new trick in less than 5 repetitions, and their memory is so sharp they'll remember commands even if you don't practice for months. Some poodles have even been trained to play instruments, which is both amazing and slightly terrifying. Imagine walking into a room and your dog is playing Beethoven on a tiny keyboard. And speaking of problem solvers, let's talk about Labrador retrievers. Labs are known for being friendly, loyal, and great family dogs, but they're also highly intelligent. A Labrador named Endall became famous for his incredible service skills. This dog could retrieve items, swipe credit cards, open doors, and even put his disabled owner into the recovery position after a fall. That's not just intelligence, that's next-level thinking. If dogs had universities, Endall would have a PhD in being a good boy. But here's the real twist. Dogs aren't just smart because they can follow commands. The most intelligent breeds don't just obey, they think independently. And sometimes that means outsmarting their owners. Take, for example, the Siberian Husky, a breed famous for escaping everything. A husky in a shelter once figured out how to unlock his own crate. And then, just for fun, he unlocked all the other dogs' crates too. Imagine walking into a room full of escaped huskies, all looking guilty but pretending they had nothing to do with it. And let's not forget the Doberman Pinscher, a breed so smart they can learn complex protection and obedience training faster than most other dogs. A Doberman can be trained to detect intruders, retrieve specific items, and even respond to medical emergencies. But if you're not careful, they'll also figure out how to open doors, escape fences, and guilt trip you into giving them extra treats. So, how do you know if your dog is a genius? Well, here are some signs. 1. They understand words quickly. If they learn a new command in just a few tries, you've got a smart pup. 2. They solve problems, like opening doors, figuring out how to get to food, or finding their toys on command. 3. They manipulate you. If they fake a limp for attention or act sad until you share your food, congrats, you're being played. 4. They remember everything. If your dog knows what time you come home, where you hide their treats, and how to guilt trip you into a second dinner, yeah, they're smart. But intelligence in dogs is a double-edged sword. A smart dog isn't always an easy dog. In fact, they can be downright exhausting. You think you're getting a well-behaved, obedient companion, but instead, you've brought home a four-legged mastermind who's constantly plotting their next move. If you don't challenge their mind, they'll create their own entertainment. And trust me, you're probably not going to like it. Ever heard of a dog unlocking doors, opening the fridge, or even turning on the sink just to play with water? Yeah, that happens. Some dogs figure out how to disable their GPS collars, while others become professional escape artists, vanishing from supposedly secure backyards like a canine version of Houdini. And if you've ever had a dog stare directly into your soul while deliberately disobeying you, congratulations! You're living with a furry little genius who knows exactly what they're doing. That's why mental stimulation is just as important as physical exercise. A tired dog is a happy dog, but a mentally engaged dog is a well-behaved one. Without it, they might just rearrange your furniture, chew a hole in your drywall, or reprogram your smart home system. Okay, maybe not that last one, yet. But the solution is simple. Give them a job. Puzzle toys, advanced training, scent games, and even teaching them new tricks can keep these brilliant dogs engaged. Ever tried a hide-and-seek game with your dog? It's a great way to challenge their minds and, honestly, hilarious to watch. At the end of the day, intelligence in dogs isn't just about how many tricks they can learn, it's about how well they understand the world around them. Some dogs are obedient geniuses, following commands with military precision, while others are independent thinkers, weighing their options before deciding if listening to you is actually worth their time. And then, there are the tricksters, dogs who pretend they don't understand a command, only to miraculously remember it when there's food involved. And just when you think you've figured them out, they pull off something so ridiculously clever that you start wondering if they've been secretly taking online courses while you sleep. Seriously, if dogs had access to Wi-Fi, we'd all wake up one day to find them running their own secret underground empire, complete with delivery services, treat stockpiles, and an elaborate ranking system where the smartest dog rules the household. Maybe they trick you into giving them extra treats by pretending they never got the first one. They look up at you with those big, innocent eyes, tail wagging, as if to say, "What do you mean you just gave me one? That must have been my imaginary twin." And because we humans are absolute suckers for that face, we fall for it every single time. Or maybe they've mastered the art of selective hearing, completely ignoring you when you call them inside, but the second you so much as whisper the word treat from 3 rooms away, they come sprinting in like an Olympic athlete. You can yell "come" all day and they'll stare at you like you just spoke an alien language. But crinkle a snack bag? Boom! They materialize out of thin air. And let's be honest, maybe they've actually trained you without you even realizing it. Ever notice how you automatically grab their leash when they give you the look? That slight head tilt, those pleading eyes, that subtle tail wag? It's mind control at its finest. You think you're in charge, but in reality, you've been programmed to respond on command. They want to walk? They don't bark or whine, they just stand by the door and stare at you until you cave. It's next-level psychological warfare, and we lose every time. Some dogs take it even further, learning your exact weak points and exploiting them perfectly. They know that jumping on the couch is a no-go, until they realize that if they snuggle up just right and put their head on your lap, suddenly the no dogs on the couch rule magically disappears. Or they pretend to be asleep when you need them to move, but the second you sit down with food, they're wide awake, suddenly full of energy and very interested in whatever's on your plate. At this point, it's fair to say dogs aren't just smart, they're straight-up masterminds. And the best part? They know it. But one thing's for sure, dogs are way smarter than we give them credit for. They read us like an open book, sense our emotions before we even recognize them, and sometimes they outsmart us completely. So now I have to ask, how smart is your dog? Have they ever outwitted you? Stolen food in an elaborate heist? Outsmarted another pet in the house? Done something so clever it actually freaked you out? Drop your stories in the comments. I guarantee we'll get some hilarious answers. And if you love learning about the incredible intelligence of dogs, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss our next mind-blowing video. Who knows? Your dog might be watching too.